Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. Today, he's speaking to Jess, who's coming all the way from.
I'm in London right now.
Are you in London right now?
I live in London, yeah.
Yeah, it's so bright. She's got to wear shades.
Yeah,
This time
the
of the day.
prescription.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be talking all things Balderdasch with Jess straight after this.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
How the devil are you anyway?
I'm all right, yeah, not too bad.
It's good. Now,
Yeah.
you love colourful things. Let's start by saying that, because look, if anyone's never seen Jess's Instagram, it's brilliantly colourful. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh man, I've been wearing all black today.
And you're wearing all black today. Yeah.
Yeah,
You like your colour outfits, don't you? You really
I
like your
do.
colour
I
outfits.
do.
Where did that come from? Where's the desire to colour yourself?
Oh, I
Um,
don't know. I don't
come
know.
from?
To be fair, I've been wearing a lot of black recently. Maybe not sharing it online, but
Okay. You're not
yeah, and
slipping into a black era then.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, to be honest, like, so I worked so many jobs where I've like had to wear all black that I
Yeah.
eventually was incorporating to my like wardrobe. But yeah, I tend to like online when I'm like doing
There
shoots.
does seem to be an element of with yourself. There does seem to be an element of era, right?
Oh,
Let's
really?
let's just explore this, because we've got kind of further down here, if we can just look, we've got
Yeah.
kind of like hood era.
Oh, yeah.
There's like yeah, but
Yeah.
then hood
Value
era.
era.
Yeah, exactly. There's still hood there, you see, and then hood. Yeah, still hood, and then was that winter time, and then this was all summer basically.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I shot. To be fair, actually, when I was doing my first EP and a lot of the visuals, I wanted it, yeah, to have I had this like knitted balaclava kind of on.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I shot it like it was warm. I remember being like boiling hot, taking pictures in those. My mom knit the balaclava and the jumper to match for me. Yeah, and I guess for this one, for the new stuff I'm putting out, I guess I'm going for a slightly more, I think provocative's a stretch too far, but less clothes. So
Yeah. Did you take any inspiration from anybody in particular for that? I mean, it's kind of, I'll tell you what, it's a little bit like, um, the St. Vincent album.
St. Vincent, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? Mass Seduction.
Mass Seduction. Yeah. It's a little bit
You know,
that, isn't it?
I hadn't thought about that, but I do. I love that album. I think I've got one of the Mass Seduction T-shirts somewhere. She was like, I remember seeing her at Cork Opera House when I was 18, being in front row,
Wow.
and she like threw her guitar out into the crowd, and I like caught it, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I felt like my world was like being
Yeah.
melted. So like she must be an inspiration somewhere, but for the visuals I hadn't thought about it. But yeah, there's definitely probably somewhere that it's gonna come through.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
What about musically for you? Who's an inspiration, or who has been an inspiration?
Um, I don't know. I've had this asked a few times recently, and I'm kind of always a little bit like, ooh, is there like
I
one
like
person?
all things.
I do like a lot of things,
Yeah.
like, and not necessarily stuff that I sound like. I love clubbing. I love going out, listening to like Miss Bashful, or Jeff Mills if you're going to go more serious.
Yeah.
Um, which doesn't necessarily show in my music. I even like Addison Rae. I just bought Lily Allen tickets for the O2 with my mom.
Is it a vibe you're
Yeah,
going for more than anything?
I think it goes. Um, I'll tend to like if I'm thinking about making an EP, I'll have a theme potentially in mind, but then song to song, I don't think about it. me- I'm not necessarily concerned about it being super musically cohesive. I'll just kind of whatever I'm writing, I want it to reflect. I want the music
Mm.
to reflect the lyrics, kind of. So I mean, yeah, I listen to so much. I mean, like sometimes classical music. I was like classically trained, but with like on the violin when I was younger.
Wow.
Um,
So you can actually play
yeah.
the violin because, like,
You know what? It's been a while. I'm kind of interested in maybe sampling it for like new work I'm doing, but it's been a long time. I recently got like my old violin repaired. So I have got intentions,
yeah,
but I was never that good. You have to put your whole, you have to really go for it if you want to be good at violin.
I
Like,
always think
yeah.
as well, if you're gonna like record a violin,
Mm,
you really want to do it somewhere so amazing that it's like,
yeah.
you know, I always like the story of some of the violin pieces that were recorded at Real World Studios, which is down in Box, which is Peter
Mm.
Gabriel's studio. And
Oh.
apparently there's the from the main studio recording area, there's kind of an aspect looking out, glass aspect
Mhm.
looking out over a lake, right, that he's got there.
Wow.
And there's a platform that goes out into the lake. And this apparently, because I've never been there, so this is all hearsay, but apparently there's on that lake, you can actually, there's somewhere where you can plug in, so you can go out and literally stand in the lake and play and then
That's
record.
insane.
Yeah.
I think I don't know from like when I
I love
used
that
to.
concept anyway. I love the idea of
That's
that.
insane. I mean, I definitely don't have that kind of budget. I think when I was doing like violin exams when I was younger, I remember they would have like two or three classical pieces, and you could maybe pick one contemporary. And I always scored higher on the contemporary pieces. I
Right.
think it's like that kind of like the ugly sounding like kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like that's what I would probably be attempting to do more in my music than like beautiful like vibrato and long violin
Well, now,
lines.
interestingly, because Charlie XCX has just done that new soundtrack, hasn't she, for
Yeah,
Wuthering Heights, and
yeah.
like one of the lead songs of it is with John Cale, and that's got
I
kind of
love
a,
that song.
yeah,
Yeah,
so kind of a scratchy.
yeah.
Is that your vibe? Is
Yeah, probably. I do like things pretty cinematic, and I do. There's a lot of humor in stuff I do. I don't know if it's intentional, but I do kind of have a bit of like a sarcastic tone in my music, but lyrically, but with music, I do like it to have like quite like a gritty, dark,
yeah?
like intensity.
In terms of your music, how would
Mm.
you describe what you write?
Oh, I don't know.
I
We
feel
all,
like I'm asking all the awkward questions, but I feel
yeah.
it's a great one. It's a bit like for musicians, this is the same kind of thing as like when business people are asked to describe their business, and they're like,
Mm.
oh, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. It's like no, you need a much better elevator pitch than that because nobody else will understand it. I feel like with
Yeah,
musicians, you can just get away with it. Um,
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah. We do get away with it.
how but what do you think people listening to your music would say about your music in terms of describing it? There's a
Um,
better question, I
I
guess.
think I do think it's rooted in pop music, but I've
I agree.
heard art pop, I've heard alt pop, avant pop, lots of different kind of pop thrown around. Um, yeah, and I think I would agree. I'm always happy to fit in the pop music sphere. I think I really enjoy pop music. But it's on the more left field side.
Yeah.
Um, or it swings. Sometimes some of it's a bit more. I think it um straight up, and then others, yeah, it does go off a cliff and a bit weird.
What
I
would you
don't.
say?
Yeah.
What would you say? Okay, then let's put it this way, so that, and then we can litmus test this when people listen back to this, because
Hmm.
I'm guessing that a lot of people that are listening to this, and I'm not being rude, but I'm guessing a lot of people may have this be the first time that they've heard of
Oh, of
you,
course. Yeah, yeah.
right? So that's and it's always good then to try and get people's kind of gauge on it. What would
Mm.
you think? What do you think is your most accessible track? And then what do you think is your hardest track?
Oh, I mean that's out at the moment. Um, Service
Oh,
with a
there's
smile.
harder to come.
Service with a smile. No, actually, don't think there is. I think that this one, the stuff that I'm putting out this year might be a bit more accessible. But I think service with a smile is pretty easy to grasp. And then hardest, oh God, maybe like a room for one is a bit um all over the shop. I don't know. I find it really hard to like analyze my own stuff, even because when I make it, I really don't set out to make it. I'd love to make stuff that was like really like people were like, oh yeah, it's a banger. Instead of being like, oh, it's left field. Like I really don't intend to make it left field, but apparently it is.
Who do you look for from? Okay, because I've always found this interesting as well. Then,
Mm,
right? I one of the reasons I started this as a podcast is because I didn't
mm,
want to make something that was incredibly sycophantic either.
mm,
Right? I don't feel like I give musicians a hard time
uh-huh.
per se, but I listen to a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, you're asking the same questions again, and you're avoiding asking anything awkward, and you're not really
Yeah.
challenging people. And I guess there's a point with musicians as well, where unfortunately a lot of the time people are very nice about what you put out,
Mm,
right? But that's not always helpful,
mm,
right?
mm.
So who's your best critic? Who's the person that you can turn to who will like give you probably the most honest opinion that you actually respect as an opinion on what you do?
I mean, it's funny because I don't really show anyone much of anything until it's out. There's only one kind of person that hears it kind of warts and all as it's going along, which would be Pete Wareham, who's my co-producer. Um, and we've had a working kind of relationship and just general friendship for like many years. Um, and I think I would trust his opinion. I have been I think getting to more point though that I kind of just go for what I want. And if I like it, I'm like, great. Um, but I think if he turned around and was like, this is terrible, which he hasn't really yet so far, I think I would pause and be like,
Yeah.
that's concerning because I really do respect and trust his opinion. I think he's an incredible musician, an artist.
I
So
like that.
yeah,
I think you need one of those in
mm,
your stall. But I like
yeah,
the fact that you're making it first and foremost for you. That's
yeah,
the right way to do it, right? I mean, that's
yeah,
what Rick Rubin talks about in that famous interview where he says, "No, I make albums for me because
yeah.
the audience are going to like it if I like it, right? Or if they don't like it, or if they don't like it, that's because they don't like it."
Yeah.
Yeah, but what he's basically saying though is as soon as you start making it for an audience, you dilute what you
Mm.
do.
Yeah,
You
I would agree
dilute
with that.
the art form, don't you?
Yeah, I just it just doesn't. There's so many, you get, people in the industry. The industry. I'm holding a key. I don't know why.
No, I like that. I was going to ask you what the key's for.
It's not very. It's from my fireman's boiler cupboard. I don't know. It was on the. I'm a bit of a fiddler, so I think I found it. It was like excellent. I'll play
You
with
could
that.
have really gone with a great
I
story
know
there.
I could have, but
You
I'm
know,
actually not as pretentious as people would think I
yeah.
was.
This is the key to my heart, and actually,
Yeah.
you only get this if
You're
you
right.
buy my albums.
Yeah, exactly. But there's people, in the industry, and they're like, "Oh, can I hear your new stuff that's not out?" And you'll send it, and maybe a few years ago, if they kind of were like, "Oh, interesting," and they're probably just waiting and waiting to see if anything they think is like a big hit, you might kind of pause and go, "It's not good enough." But now I'm just like, "Yeah, you can hear it," and I don't pay any more mind to it. Like, what? I'm just like, "This is what I'm putting out," you know. Like it or lump it, basically. So, and I have that freedom because I'm independent. I have a distributor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it could, but so that's great. And but your music, this is the beauty of today, though, is that your music could end up anywhere, right?
yeah,
Right? It could end up as I mean, I think more and more artists are turning towards trying to, or at least hoping that they might get a sync or whatever. Because let's
mm,
face it, that's a great way of getting A, known, and B, income
yeah, yeah,
compared with other forms of distribution,
Mm.
etc. Is there anywhere where you'd say no to your music going?
You mean like on sync? Ooh, yeah, probably. I mean, for me, something I don't politically align with, I would say
Right.
no.
Okay. Are
You
you
know,
quite
and
politically focused yourself?
look, I wouldn't be the most, but I try my best. So there's
Cool.
certain things, I probably
Yeah.
would certainly be like, no, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do anything that was anti-LGBT as a lesbian woman. I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
do
Yeah. Yeah.
anything that was right wing or like or let them, play music or anything that I kind of was on
But
the
it's like when I was growing
yeah.
up, and Dareem. Do you remember Dareem?
I don't think so.
They had a song with "Things Will Only Get Better."
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know that song, right?
yeah.
Which Brian Cox, the
Mhm.
astrophysicist, astrologer, whatever he is,
Mhm.
that the softly spoken guy that does, oh, here's the planets and the universe and all of this. He was
Yeah.
the keyboard player in that band.
I didn't know
Interesting
that.
fact.
Yeah.
But it then got picked up by Tony Blair and was the Labour Party
Oh, yeah.
theme
Mhm.
tune, and it's like, you
Yeah.
kind of feel like, do you want any politician to get hold of your music as a kind of theme tune? No, probably not.
No, definitely not. Even if it gives you a bigger audience, it's like for me, I just am like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not precious in many other ways. Like I would love to get a music sync. It's definitely like a kind of a little kind of dream of mine, and I wouldn't even really care if it was on like um the Real Housewives of whatever or whatever. I'd be like, oh, sick, yeah. Like if it doesn't have
Love
to be.
Island.
Yeah, I'd be just be
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's crazy. I mean, I couldn't see it myself, but I would be like, sweet, like it'd be such a novelty. It's just more stuff that I really wouldn't want to further enhance. That I
Yeah.
think is kind of gross. That I'd be a bit like, oof. Even big companies that I'm kind of in disagreement with, how they navigate all their billions, even though I know it would be like a massive check, I think I would probably not want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's right. I think that you've got to stand by your principles. Otherwise, you'll end up doing that and then feeling like you're compromised, and then you probably like, it could ultimately it could turn you away from your art.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't judge people for taking it. Like, like for me, I probably, yeah, it would give me pause. But like, if someone else was like, I need this money and I'm so skint, like I'm not gonna judge them. It's just my own kind of feelings about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like art outside of music? You like art? I mean, you've got a great bit of art on the wall there.
Oh yeah, that's Helen Beard. And
Yeah.
which one's this one? Oh God, I can't remember. It's the smoking. It's Otto something. Is it Otto Dix? Otto Dix. I think.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like art. I've got like a lot of my best friends are visual artists. And I do try and get to like galleries and stuff when I can. And I do care about the visuals for my own kind of work. A lot of it's of me at present, but who knows, maybe in the future it'll veer off being of myself on the cover.
There's nothing wrong with it being of you, is there? I mean,
No, yeah. I'll just get bored eventually and like I have to keep thinking of ways that look different.
well, maybe what you do is just do a cutout where you were. That's a great.
Yeah.
Literally, I thought I'd take myself out of my art, but so I just left like the impression of me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that like various artists have explored over the years, where they've maybe done like models of themselves or like plaster cast faces of themselves and stuff like that. It feels like maybe in tracks or expressions of their music where they feel like they've removed themselves slightly. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, I do. I mean, I work kind of with a small team at the moment, like friends that I reach out to for to help me with visuals. But if I had a budget, it'd be over for everyone.
I love that.
I have so many talented friends, and I do pay them anyway, because I couldn't not. I'd rather be like eating beans on toast for a week than not pay my friends, or even just something.
Yeah.
Even though I think a lot of them would do it free, I just it doesn't sit with me. Wow.
You're the first person that I've talked to since I saw on Instagram a reel going through in the last day or so about an interview with Robin,
Oh yeah,
the
I've not
singer
seen.
Robin, for Apple Music, I think it was.
Mm.
And it's a really great little bit because she actually talks about something that a lot of musicians don't talk about, which is just how hard it is to make music, or how much work it is to make music. Like she says, like a lot of people feel like making music is just fun,
Mm.
but it's not fun all the time.
No.
Yeah. Do you want to give your interpretation of that? Which bits of it are fun? Which bits of it are laborious, hard?
I like creating the visuals for it once we're actually on set, as it were, putting it loosely, and something's coming to like fruition. I like when it's out and you get nice feedback because you're kind of sitting there, kind of
The relationship bit
making
with the
it.
audience.
Yeah, you're not getting any. You're thinking because people can, like we say, oh, it's all for me, but it is. You kind of have to fill your cup somehow with external praise.
Yeah.
But I hate the promotional side of it, which I think is pretty much most musicians. There's a few that are like social media gurus, and hats off to them. But and I've become more and more just like not arsed about doing it. Like even if it's to the detriment of my own career. I'm really hesitant to just post constantly, and I know it does work for a lot of people, but I think
But
it's the
it's
hill I'm going to
funny.
die on.
Well, it's where I have a great deal of respect for musicians because, I mean, I deal with other businesses where I write for them, right, as a content creator. So and I feel like for a lot of businesses, you can get somebody else to market you.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard when you're a musician, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if a musician came to me and went, "Oh, I want you to market me, but I'm not going to be involved because I don't really like that sort of stuff."
I know. I
It'd
mean,
be
some
like,
people get away with it. Artists that don't necessarily use social media, but they tend to have been like either established a few years ago, and then they've kind of having another kind of
they have a
way.
brand. They have a
Yeah,
brand.
or like every once in a while, there's some people that I still think there is bands out there that aren't absolutely caning TikTok, and they're still kind of breaking through, but it tends to be the kind of a perfect storm of them getting kind of industry hype, and then lots of gigs, but it not every artist fits into that kind of way of that working, basically. I don't know if I necessarily fit into that. That the kind of band that gets hyped and that starts touring loads. Like I don't necessarily think my music lends itself to that. But I also don't know. I think once I posted a TikTok like a few years ago during lockdown, and it got quite a good response, and it was like a half finished song that I'd made.
Yeah.
And it immediately made me not want to finish. I never finished it. I was like, nah. So it was quite stupid of me, but I just like, and it was the most kind of like.
Well, it's
Very
almost like that is. It's almost like that is the ideal creative piece, right?
Yeah.
For something like TikTok, which would be like, it's because when you have an audience and you're trying to engage that audience in something in a process, then something like it's like paint by numbers. It's almost like saying to the audience, "Hey, here you are. Here's the first bit of it. Now you finish it."
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, that just means that as a content producer, you could do that. You could literally just go, right, I'm gonna write the first bit of the song today, and you're going to finish it, and that could be your constant kind of thing, right?
It's a
But that's not songwriting. That's not songwriting.
No, and it's such a risky thing. I mean, I think that the artists still do well regardless, but there's so many artists I see that put out a little bit of song, and it's a great song, but they're just singing, you know, with a little mic, and then they go to mix and master it, and then everyone's saying, "Oh, the other version was better." And I think it's just actually that's not true. It's because we are creatures that love familiarity. So if you've been listening to this little clip that's really, you know, just raw, and like yes, there is something to be said for rawness. I do. I said not everything has to be polished, but I think it's a shame then that this artist would go away, mix, master it, and they put it out, and then everyone's like, "Oh no, I want it this way," because they already feel like they have ownership of it, whereas they should really have ownership of it once the song's done and out into the world. That's when people are meant to have ownership of it, not when it's a work in progress, like you said, which is the scary part for an artist to like share things that are work in progresses, because people then feel like they have a say, which they don't have a say.
Would you ever bring other people into your works in progress? Would you ever sort of widen the circle?
Well, I mean, not necessarily for like my Balderdasch stuff, but I'm already my friend Elena, who produced with Ella's recent album. So she goes by Tongue Tied, and we've worked on some new songs together. We had to take a bit of a pause on that, but yeah, I'm definitely more into the idea of collaboration than I used to be. I used to be quite shy about the idea of it. I would love an idea where I found someone who I really loved production wise, and then I could just write the lyrics, because that's my favorite part, is writing the words and the story and the narrative.
Long time ago. I mean a long time ago, almost dinosaur period. When I was in a band, and then just coming out of a period, we had a festival to go to, and certain people couldn't make it, and so we literally just formed a band just for this festival, and decided to do something completely different, right? And just for the fun of it. It was actually really, really fun. So if someone suddenly said to you, like literally just for a quick project, I just gonna could you we're gonna front like an all girl kind of punky thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Would you do that for a bit of fun?
Probably, yeah.
I think sometimes
I have to be interested in the people I'm working with. I wouldn't do it to anyone. But yeah, totally. I love kind of like myself and Elena, this kind of stuff that we've been playing about with. It's quite just clubby and just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
It's like playing characters.
St. Vincent gets on the telephone and says, let's do it. You know?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, actually, I did like a little mini interview with a really great kind of Irish. I don't know if you call them press.
Yeah.
They're called Genuine Irish, basically. And they asked me kind of about collaboration stuff, and I was like, maybe St. Vincent, I don't know. Or like Kim Gordon or something. I love Kim Gordon.
Cool. Well, look, that's a super group.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Gordon, St. Vincent.
I'll just sit in the corner with like some like shakers or something. I feel like they can do.
No. You should be up front. They might enjoy actually. Those sort of people will probably enjoy actually having someone else up front.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're sick.
It could be a sort of like slightly harder nosed edge version of Boy Genius sort of thing, couldn't it?
I mean, that song that Kim Gordon put out, I don't know if it was her most recent album, that was called Bye Bye. That I feel like actually influenced my EP. It's just like it's got kind of like trap beats, and she's just like listing almost like her like packing list to go away, and it's such a good song.
It's a really good song. You must have a Sonic Youth t-shirt.
You know what's nuts is I don't know what kind of music I had. Quite a rich like musical upbringing through my dad, but I hardly have ever listened to Sonic Youth, and
really,
I only like really know like Kim Gordon, and then it's same with like who was it again? Oh, what is his name? Who's the lead singer of Led Zeppelin?
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant. No, this is hilarious. My dad used to rent Robert Plant and Alison Krauss's album, and I remember chatting to my friend years later, and they put on Led Zeppelin. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty like Robert Plant, and they were like,
That is wrong.
what? And they were like, what do you mean? Like, how do you know him? I was like, I only know him as him and Alison Krauss. And they were like, how can you only know him for that? I was like, I don't know. I'm like, my music knowledge has some serious terrible gaps.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Yeah. And they were like, no, here's a copy of Led Zeppelin 4.
I know. Yeah, it's bad. I like it's a real some things that they're like, oh, of course you would be into that, and then they're like, oh,
Yeah.
you must like this then, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and they're like,
Yeah, but I feel like it's again, I feel like that's partly my generation's fault,
Mm,
is that we come from a very different time in terms of
mm,
music, right?
mm, mm.
Because we come from a time when like you had to work to physically own the music that you listen to,
Yeah.
right? Which is why the music industry is in the state that it is now, because
Mm,
ultimately, people believe that the music just appears out of a box in the corner of the room, and
yeah.
like there's very little effort's gone into wanting to make the choices.
Yeah.
We saved up, we worked, we saved up our hard-earned money, and then you literally went to a record shop and you would spend hours in the record shop deciding what you were going to spend your hard-earned cash on.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had it with like CDs where I had like so many of like the Now CDs, like the compilations, and then but I would normally just borrow like my dad's. Like my dad had quite an extensive CD collection. Um,
Yeah.
but then you only kind of listen to what they were into, and like he wasn't, I guess, he had kind of particular taste. Like we had like no Beatles in the house at all.
Wow,
He
really?
was not a Beatles fan, clearly, yeah. And I still haven't really dipped my toe into Beatles. It feels a bit too overwhelming at this point. I think he would just listen to like Clash or like Shostakovich or like the Ibiza soundtrack. It was a really like scary mix of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, you just need to buy like the Red and Blue albums
Mm,
from the Beatles, which are like the compilation albums of like the first era and the second era, and just do
yeah. It
that's
is
it.
Color Day.
That will give you that kind of overall spectrum of where it started and where it got to.
Yeah.
And then you kind of decide which of their eras you like the best
You're into. Mm,
along the
yeah.
line, and then
That's what I need to do.
you buy that album. that's the way. And like, I mean, some of us got all of their albums, but that's a
Mm,
great way to start if you
yeah.
if you don't know. Yeah, I think it's really important that people realize that music could disappear as well.
Mm,
And saying that, because I've already got CDs in my collection which you can't get on things like Spotify or Amazon or whatever.
yeah, that is true.
You know,
That's the
Uh,
kind of scary thing when you have everything in the cloud. There's,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
then someone can make. The point is that, and I don't think listeners necessarily get this all the time these days, is that you assume that you don't need to support the physical format because
Mm,
it's going to be there forever, and
yeah.
you're just adding on, right? But they clear the space.
Yeah.
They don't just add on; they do get rid of stuff as well. So
Yeah. That's
es-
true.
especially if you like stuff that's a little bit more left field, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh.
I think more musicians perhaps ought to start touting that as a kind of sales thing and say, look, I'm a bit more of a left field artist.
Mm.
That means in the future I might not be on all of these platforms because
Yeah, it's already happening. I mean, even like an artist I really like, an Irish artist called Rosh, I think, had a song with I can never pronounce. I think it's like goes like huh. It's like H.
I love that.
And they've got this song called "Did You Ever Get the Ride at the Wake House?" with like an incredible music video, and they only released it on Bandcamp. Terribly enough, I don't use Bandcamp enough, but it did prompt me to be like, okay, I'm going to buy it then. I'm going to put it, but actually they haven't got physical copies of it, but I had to like buy the MP3.
Yeah.
And even though the MP3 is still like not a physical thing, it is So there's a bit more. You have a bit more ownership of it if you put it on a drive or you put it on.
I know.
Yeah.
I do like Bandcamp as I
Yeah.
keep saying to people, I do like Bandcamp as a platform. I
Mm.
like the fact that artists seem to, because it's a little bit more curated and everything, artists seem to respond to that as well. You do tend to get
Yeah.
messages from artists saying, "Oh, thanks for buying that."
Yeah.
So
They do. It's a good. I think it's one of the better. Well, it's one of the best platforms for the out of compared to the rest of the streaming platforms, which are a whole other thing.
so listen, what are you writing about now?
Well, to be fair, I took a massive break because I was just having a bit of a nightmare summer. But the moment I'm writing, I think it's only like the first new song I've written since this other body of work that will be coming out next year. And I think I'm gonna go try and write an album. I don't really care how long
Oh,
it'll take.
good.
And I, as like a one phrase for it, it's kind of gonna center around emotional inheritance.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something which I like feel I'm very interested in. My family on my dad's side, grew up during the Troubles in the North.
Yeah.
And I come from a very, wild, quite complicated family on both sides. I hope they don't mind me saying that. And I've kind of maybe dipped my toe in it with the first EP, Control the Ending. This new stuff I'm putting out is more to do with sexuality and intimacy and vulnerability. So the new stuff I want to work on, I feel like it's a kind of return to some older themes, but I want to just kind of really explore the sounds of it. So yeah, it's going to be a while though, because I really didn't want to write for ages. It's only recently where I've been thinking, okay, I want to do this again. I was literally just working on this track before we started chatting.
Cool.
But yeah, it's probably going to take me ages.
Oh, well, look, let's hope this
Yeah.
is a great springboard for you, mentally as well. I
Hmm.
mean, let's hope that when this goes out and you get a bit of love from people, that it's like that spurs you on. And
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I've got some shows coming as well, which will be hopefully.
cool. Where are you playing?
Where am I playing? I'm playing. It's not announced yet, but it's meant to be announced today. But I'm playing on the. I'm just checking my calendar. I'm playing on the 18th of December in Ormside Projects for Montez Press Radio. They're doing a fundraiser for their radio, and also I think some of the some of the proceeds are going to a Palestinian charity. And then in February, I'm doing my own headline show on the 21st of February in the Victoria in Dalston.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, listen, folks, if you're listening and you can get to either of those, do. It's as simple as that. And if you haven't checked out Jess's music yet, please do go and do that as well. We'll be giving like the links as soon as this goes out, and on the old Spotify, it will be literally just there, right? So you literally have to move your thumb about an inch, and then you can start playing her music, and then add it to a playlist, and then go and say hello. It's as simple as that, really. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. Lovely.
I am gathering a group of people together for a Christmas special. I might send you an invite for that. We're going to do what we did last year, which was get some artists, and we'll just talk about our worst and our favourite Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Just
I love like deep cut Christmas songs. I'm a big fan of. I always I have a playlist I can refer to every year, and I'm always looking for like really obscure Christmas songs.
Cool. What's the most obscure Christmas song that you've found so far?
Oh my gosh, I've got this this playlist that's private that is it's called Merry Christmas. I'm Still Not Feeling It. Where it's an obscure, but I like Remember Bethlehem by Jake Thackeray. That's an interesting one.
Cool.
There was one, because these are more just like good ones. Like I Don't Intend to Spend Christmas Without You, Margot Gurian. Amazing. There was one weird one. I can't remember. Why is it not on here? Christmas Island by the Andrews Sisters as well.
Christmas Island by the Andrews Sisters. Love that. The one that I've been recommending to artists to go and listen to as an album of Christmas sort of inspired songs is the Smith and Burrows album.
Oh,
If you've never heard that.
no.
So it's the singer from the Editors with the drummer from Razorlight.
Okay.
They did an album called and I can't remember, something Angels now, but Smith and Burrows. Go and have a listen to that, and
I will.
It's great. It's really quite miserable Christmas songs.
My favourite.
Right, with quite a socio-political tinge to it. It's great.
Ooh, yeah. No, I want to have a look. I'll investigate
Tell me if you enjoy it.
Yeah, I will.
Folks, this has been wonderful. Jess, thank you
All
so
right.
much for coming on and talking to me today. We will be back soon with more of my music. I hope you're listening to some good new music out there. If you're not, what's the matter with you? We will be speaking soon. But until then, from Jess and me, bye for now.
See ya.